Thanks for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. You can find us wherever you find podcasts or listen to music. When you have an opportunity, please give us a 5-star review, write a little note, tell us how we're doing. We really appreciate it. It helps us keep this thing going. If you want to reach out to us, you can find us at Facebook at Hidden Tracks. Instagram is at HiddenTracks99, and if you'd like to send in submissions or talk to us or give us any feedback about what we're doing, our email is myhiddentracks99@gmail.com. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show. What's up, everybody? Another week, another edition of the show. This week I have Jake from the awesome project called Roseville out of Colorado. Again, doing my deep dives, hearing something that piques my interest. Then I do the deep dive and listen to every album and all the singles and the EPs that were put out, and reached out, and Jake was nice enough to accept my email and accept the opportunity to come on the show. So without further ado, Jake, welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
It's our absolute pleasure. It's my absolute pleasure, because I heard your music. I did what I needed to, which is actually spend time with it, not do the Alexa skip or you know just go past something that I like. I really dove into it, and going back to your initial release, your self-titled, I was just blown away and really excited to hear some stories about how this project came together. So, like, if you want to start with like the cliff notes of what Roseville started as and where it stands today.
Yeah, that's kind of a whole story. It's definitely like looks a lot different now than um, what it started as. It started, I think, like in 2018. Me and my friend Kevin, who we were living together. We were just like best buds. We had kind of like become friends through like this like he was just kind of like um, had been like reaching out to people about like recording some sort of like he had never recorded music before. He wanted to record some sort of um, like ambient guitar-ish music for he's a photographer, so it was for his uh, him and another friend of ours, their photography um, book that they were doing together, and they were doing a whole event for it. So I was like, I just kind of knew, I was just kind of around. I had heard him say like, I want to do this, and I was like, well, I know how to like press record on GarageBand. I had like played music for a while, like in church and stuff, but never like really recorded my own music. And that's kind of how we became friends. We just like recorded, like neither of us really knew what we were doing. We recorded some like, um, some like sound samples. He like is the person who introduced me to like the world of Bandcamp, and like, um, we were listening to like Wicca Phase and, um, a lot of these like lo-fi like bands that like sample stuff. And that was like a big introduction for me. And we kind of decided, I don't know, that it was really fun to do that. And we were like, we should we like try and make our own music? Like, I don't know. I think we were both like in the middle of college, and we were both feeling like really like we wanted to create something. And yeah, it was kind of kismet because there's this like coffee shop space in town that we were using for rehearsal because they have a stage and they're not open late. And we're friends with the people who run it. And uh, we were just kind of like using it to play loud. We weren't really allowed to play loud at the places we were living at the time. So we just like brought our guitars and our amps, and we're just kind of jamming and trying to come up with stuff. And um, just kind of also randomly, Morgan, who ended up drumming, just like I think she was like walking into like um, do something. There was also like a worship band that recorded there or that practiced there, and I think she was like doing something with that. And I like kind of knew her. We had one class together in college like years before this, and so it was kind of like I don't know. I think it clicked for us later, but anyway, she was like, I play drums, and someone else was like, Morgan plays drums. You guys should like hit her up. And so yeah, we literally were just like um, three like I don't know, pretty green like musicians, not like in the playing sense necessarily, but like definitely like I don't think any of us had been in like a real band before or done anything like quote unquote serious. And it was like, yeah, it was really magical. We invited her to like practice with us a couple times, and um, it was like, yeah, it was just like wonderful. And um, we were living with Kevin and I were also living with at the time our friend Corey, who recorded and mixed and mastered and everything the first two records. And um, yeah, so it kind of was like um, everything just kind of fell into place in a really cool way. I think like now I feel like, oh, it just happened, but it was really like honestly scary. And like Corey was a huge part of like encouraging us, even though we were like, I don't know, like I feel like Kevin didn't even really play guitar. He was just kind of like learning, but and I like maybe had a little bit more like competency with guitar, but I was still like so afraid of recording, and yeah, like I'd never done any of that stuff before. So it was like really exciting and really scary, and it was like the first time any of us, all three of us, had written music. And yeah, I think what came out was like pretty pure because of that, which is really cool to look back on. Like, wasn't that long ago, but it feels like forever ago.
Well, in the scheme of creating music and the amount of music you've already put out, it is actually, and really long ago, because if you compare it to the time you first put out your first lick of music to where you are today, you've actually almost equaled how long the Beatles were creating music. So,
Hell yeah. Hopefully we can beat the Beatles.
yeah, shouldn't be too hard. It was an 8-year run. So
Yeah. All right. We'll see what we can do.
So I want to kind of dive into your personal, journey through music, because you don't just pick up something and start to do something unless music has played a part in your life. And it usually starts when you're a small child. I mean, you had mentioned, church earlier. A lot of us and a lot of people out in the world, that's where music first kind of takes a hold of you. But like, when did you grow up in like a musical household? Did you have like, was there music on? Were your parents into music? Did you like kind of latch on to something as a small kid that you liked that was being played?
Yeah, I mean, I had like all sorts of phases as a kid, and I think my parents were like, so we definitely weren't like a musical household at all, as far as like playing goes. But my dad just like he listens to all types of music, and like definitely like the first memory of like liking music was this like Tim McGraw CD that I had on my Discman, which is like I'm still like I still really love like country music from that era, and like the guitar on those records are like so amazing. I could not play any of the like lead guitar on those, but that was kind of like the first introduction to music, and just like listening to a whole album on a Discman. And I definitely had some like worship CDs that were just like whatever, but um yeah, like my first really like getting into music was like playing. I one of my phases, I think my parents thought it was going to be a phase, was that I really wanted an electric guitar for Christmas, and they got me like a really cheap PV like intro guitar, and my dad introduced me, I think maybe not on purpose, to Metallica. And so I was in like 6th grade, I think 5th or 6th grade, and I was like, Metallica was my favorite band in the world. It was like my favorite thing of all time. And so yeah, I got a guitar. I think they were like, it was like $100, and they were like happy if it was just like a phase and something to do. But I just like, I don't know, it just like felt really good to me, and it was fun to like learn, um, yeah, learn songs. Like the first couple years of me playing was just learning from like by ear, and with learning how to read tabs and stuff. And um, but yeah, my dad has always had like the classic rock radio on. Always had like I still have his collection of CDs because he's like gotten rid of it. But I was like, I'm taking these. I took all the good ones. There's some gems in there.
Now, you pick up a guitar. Did you, a lot of times as a kid, you pick up a guitar, you're listening to music, and you kind of like are searching for other people that do that, or was it something you just kept to yourself for a longer period of time?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of me didn't know that you could. I mean, I guess at the start is kind of how everyone is like, I didn't know you could just like start a band. I definitely had like some more like weirdly formal experiences. I played bass for church for a long time, which like I could not get my foot in to play guitar at church, so I settled for bass, which in hindsight was like awesome. It like taught me so much about just playing in a band and like what your role is and stuff. Which so I am thankful for that. But at the time I was like, I just want to play fucking guitar so bad, and I did eventually get to. But And there's like weird opportunity came up at my middle school, um, where they were like trying out this new program, which is like so cringy, um, in hindsight, but honestly was like pretty cool. Where they were like, we're gonna like try and give this middle school a house band, and we have like this guy who wants to. It was weirdly like the guy who I was giving me guitar lessons. This guy was like gonna volunteer his time to like basically teach a bunch of middle schoolers how to be in a band. It was like School of Rock coded for sure, but not as like exciting. But it was really a good experience in that I like tried out for that for guitar the first year and I didn't make it. It was not good enough. I played Banana Pancakes by Jack Johnson. And they were like, he was like, yeah, you can play bass if you want. So I got to play bass again. So I played bass for the first year. And honestly, that I think that's when I learned to like really love bass. We played like covers of like classic rock songs. It was, yeah, I have a couple of videos of it still. It's really not great, but then the next year I got to play guitar, and so that was like me like those 2 years, like seventh and eighth grade. I got to, I don't know, it was like a really, I say it's cringy, but it was like truly like a unbeatable experience. Like not a lot of people have that opportunity to like just play with other competent musicians. Like I played with like some really great musicians for like being 14 or whatever. I mean, for being any age really, but like, and a lot of those people have gone on to still, just get better at their instruments. So, yeah, that was like my first.
Did that band have a name?
No, it
No.
was called. I mean, it was called the Kennard House Band.
Okay.
I went to the Kennard Middle School. If people do their digging, they could find the video.
It
is on YouTube.
Everything's on YouTube.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty. Yeah, please don't watch it.
So you're learning to do that. You're learning to be in a band. Did you kind of find, because in those formative years, middle school, like that's kind of like, I go back to my time. I'm much older than you, but middle school for me was learning to play, and then looking at Thrasher magazine and seeing the bands that were in there and trading skate videos and stuff like that, and kind of found my own way into music. Did you kind of have like a teenage awakening of like you kind of found like this little rabbit hole of music that was different than the normal stuff you were playing, those classic rock tunes as you call them, like this other side of music that you kind of found your own way into?
Yeah, I mean, I like kind of sat in the classic rock hole for a long time, which is, again, I'm like super thankful for. I feel like it was super. I feel like there are like different types of like classic rock that people get into, and some of them some of them I was really into. I was like obsessed with Led Zeppelin for most of that middle school year. Like or those 2 years, I was only, it was a stupid thing that our schools changed, so it was only 2 years in middle school. But yeah, I was like obsessed. I like obsessively like learned Led Zeppelin songs and like tried to learn like all of the records all the way through. And Rush was like a big band for me, which like now I get a lot of shit for, which is there's like some Rush heads out there in the music community, but it's few and far between. But yeah, I think I honestly like sat in that for a long time with like some indie stuff here and there. I got into like the Decemberists, which I think people can hear in a lot of like the newer kind of last, like most two recent records. And that was like my intro to like, oh, songs can like be like, I like really liked how literary Colin Malloy writes like songs, which like also in hindsight, some of them are like a little like overly like twee, I guess. But that really like awoke this like, oh, like I mean, like, and now looking back, it's like a lot of classic rock songs are like stories and fictional, or they tell a story, and country songs do the same thing. But yeah, Decemberists were like a huge inspiration for me going to like high school, and then um, yeah, I started listening to like um, basically anything that like I could get my hands on. I didn't really like break into this like shoegaze like slowcore world until I met Kevin and I met our friend Jack and Corey, and like that was like most of those like inspirations that I have now that I would cite as like my main inspirations. Like I didn't even know they existed until like maybe 2017, 2016, which is really crazy to say out loud. But like, um, it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of felt like a, like, oh, I've grown out of classic rock and now I'm into this. And then now that I've been into like those bands for however long, like almost 10 years, I'm like, well, classic rock, like I really still like the Rush stuff that I liked, and like that stuff's super important to me still. And it does have its like funny bits, but I don't know. I just kind of see it as like it all has its place, and you can kind of take something from anything, even if it's you know music that you don't really like. I wrote off like pop music for the longest time, because it was like, well, it's not technical or like cool enough. But there's so much to learn from pop music about songwriting, and um, I think it's like one thing that Corey told me a long time ago when we were working on one of the records was that like everything is pop music. Like pop music just does it the most. Like all the principles are kind of the same. And so yeah,
Yeah, a lot of pop music just has a lot more money behind it, and
yeah,
most of the artists in pop music aren't really writing most of their own songs anyway.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, it's created in that fishbowl,
yeah,
so but and a good song's a good song, whether it's a pop song, country song. Like, if it's a good song, it's a good fucking song. And
yeah,
there's some things that they're just undeniable. And I'll even be like, yeah, that's a great fucking song. Like, holy shit. Like, I know it's gonna be really popular. I know people are gonna absolutely love it, and I'm supposed to hate it because of my background, but I'm like, that's just a great fucking song.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's even like parts of like I just notice it all the time, like the earworminess of like even like really not what you would not associate with like pop music. It's like it's still kind of drawing from the same intention of like having these motifs that kind of bend and change over the song, but still call back to like the same thing and get stuck in your head. It's like I don't know, unless you're like going super experimental, it's like I feel like you want something to stick in the listener's head.
You've have gone on this broad thing, and I mean, we're at middle school pretty much, but so you're performing in church in front of, pretty much strangers. You're in this house band in middle school. I mean, what was performing like for you? Like at that young age, was there, you know, apprehension to doing it, or was it just so new and you didn't really know that much about it that it really didn't matter? So those thoughts never got into your head?
Yeah, I think, man, it's so long ago. I definitely was nervous, and I would get really nervous. But there was something, yeah, about like playing at church is so low stakes. Like, I mean, I was like playing at like youth group, like to the other like teens or tweens. Like, I mean, of course, I was nervous because I was like, oh, I want to impress everyone with this sick bass note. But like, I wasn't like, I don't know. I definitely experienced stage fright and would get just as nervous as anyone else. But it was a really good way to like build up the tolerance to like, oh, what if I mess up? I just messed up. Look, no one really cared or even noticed. Which I think it totally feels different when you're playing your own music, versus playing someone else's music or even a cover. Like, uh, it's, I feel like there's a little bit more, I have like, it's my art that I want to portray in the correct way or the way that I feel like does it justice. So that makes me a little more nervous now, but um, yeah, playing all those shows, like I also did like blue. I don't really know why I did this. I think my teacher told me to, but my guitar teacher. But went to like blues jams with like 40-year-old guys, and I would just play like the blues scale. And but he was right. He was like, you should just do it and you'll get like comfortable playing, comfortable improving, doing like improvising. And you can mess up and no one's going to care. Like, and so, yeah, it really helped me like build up a tolerance. And also like, there's things that like, I don't even know how other people learn because I learned it in such a weird way with those things. It's like, when you mess up, like, when I first like would mess up while I was playing, I would just stop, and then like I don't know if someone told me or I had to realize like, oh, you have to keep going. You have to kind of pretend like you didn't mess up. So yeah, it was stuff like that, little things that now feel like, yeah, it's just like really helpful to have learned so young and to be like, not have to. I don't feel like I have to worry about those things performing now. It's just me getting in my head about like, oh, I want this to come across the exact perfect way.
Now, for you, since music's in your life, you were playing it at a young age. Was there? There's usually sometimes this breaks down into two, but do you remember like the first like legitimate concert you went to, and then maybe the first legitimate concert you got to pick to go to?
Oh
Sometimes they're one
man,
and the same, but
yeah. Oh well. I got to see. This kind of goes back. I think the very first concert I ever got to go to was at Cheyenne Frontier Days. We have a thing called Cheyenne Frontier Days in Cheyenne, Wyoming, where it's like, yeah, basically like a big giant county fair. And they'll have like musical acts. And the first show I ever saw was Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. So that's topical for yeah, Tim McGraw was like just like one of the first musicians I ever even like knew of. And I mean, I was really young when we went to that. I was probably like 8, and I don't really remember it, but it was fun. I mean, it was like being at the county fair and eating like a turkey leg, chicken leg, or whatever. um, and then the first one I chose to go to, I think this is so crazy to say out loud, also, but uh, I was so excited. We went. It was actually weirdly at the same thing. It was at Cheyenne Frontier Days, but it was Kiss at
whoa,
Cheyenne Frontier Days, which was like so weird. But I was so excited. Um, and well, yeah, my cousin and I went. We painted our faces. Um, and yeah, it was pretty surreal. It was like the first time. I don't know. I was in a big Kiss phase at that time, and I was like, "Dang, this is so cool."
it's hard to imagine. We just celebrated Kiss Day this on Saturday in our record store, where we sold all the Kiss stuff because it was the anniversary of when the Kiss Army came to formation. So
Oh wow.
it was it's very funny to hear someone else like that Kiss was your first one you got to choose to go to.
Yeah.
It's
And it's like them. I mean, Ace Frehley, I think, just died, right?
yeah, he did. Yeah, he lived. So he died one town over from where our record store and music venue
Oh
is. So,
wow.
yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah.
Yeah, I
I know
mean,
people that went to his funeral.
wow. That's crazy.
And then
Yeah.
Kiss just played Las Vegas, after they did their farewell tour. So everyone's pissed at them
Yeah.
because they're like, oh, it's fair. I'm like, first off, it's their fourth farewell tour they ever did. Secondly, they're just going to say it's the farewell tour because ticket sales aren't going great. And then everybody buys it. And then, then they just played Las Vegas this weekend.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the Grateful Dead's been doing it since the 90s.
yeah. I mean, I've been having farewell episodes for 4 years now on the show to just help people listen. But.
Yeah. Every episode's a farewell.
Now, going from those first two moments, do you have like a concert that you got to attend that was like just stands out in your mind? Like you can give me one or two that are your favorite to date.
Oh, that's a great question. Favorite few concerts. I went. Well, this is kind of topical as well. We when Kevin and I first met Morgan, her favorite band in the world, I think, still is to this day, Paramore, and she had like bought 3 tickets to see them at Red Rocks, and this was the Hard Times, I think is the record, the tour that they were on, and I'd like listen to them kind of like I'm in all these like emo like Midwest emo adjacent spaces, and I'm like really did not get any of that when I was, obviously I'm like talking about classic rock. But I like had heard some Paramore songs. It was like she was like, "Well, I have two extra tickets if you guys want to come." Like we didn't really know each other, and um, it was just like truly, yeah. One of the, I mean, she had seen them like multiple times, but for Kevin and I, it was like the first, um, yeah, like the first time seeing, and it was just like one of those shows you go to that you're just like, man, this is what they do for a living. You're not like really um aware that you're at a show. You're just like experiencing it. And it just flowed so well. It was like 2.5 hours, but it just felt like I don't know. There's nothing worse than being at a show and just being like, oh, when is this gonna end?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so that one's really memorable for a lot of reasons. Like our song on that first record, Lucky Cigarette's, written about like that night. It's like the night we all like kind of became friends, and so that also helps to
Yeah.
remember it fondly. But I just remember being like, oh my god, like you this is what happens when a band goes like 110,000%. Like um obviously they've been a band for a long time, but it was really cool to see, like, I don't
Well,
know, just like
on and off. They've been.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, on and off.
Yeah. And then I mean other ones that come to mind, I'm trying to think. I'm definitely gonna like leave out like a big one that I'm just like drawing a blank on. But for a long time, my dad and we have missed it. Honestly, I think since COVID, we kind of broke this. But for like 6 years, we went to the Ava Brothers at
Oh.
Red Rocks together. It's like yeah, one of the bands that my dad and I both like really love that is still playing. And
They're great. I do have to say something about Avett right now, though, because I was so excited for the Mike Patton Avett Brothers album,
yeah,
and it came out, and I couldn't be more disappointed.
I haven't. Yeah, I wouldn't say I've stopped listening, but yeah, it's everyone has their moments.
Yeah,
Everyone has,
I mean, to think one of the greatest vocalists, and if anybody knows Mike Patton, Mr. Bungle, Faith No More,
yeah,
just
yeah,
one of the greatest vocalists, could do anything with his voice. And then you have Avett, who are amazing songwriters, amazing guitar, banjo, like, and just I was like, this is going to be pretty spectacular.
yeah,
And then it's like it came out, this let's see, 3 days ago, and uh, as of this recording, is 3 days ago, but
yeah,
I'm like, I was so excited, and then I couldn't have been more disappointed. I guess because my expectations were high, and it's like, to me, there's not enough Mike Patton and there's not enough Avett, and that's only them. So it's like weird that it's like not enough of either of them. It's just
yeah.
a weird album.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been feeling similarly disillusioned by them. I don't know if you listen to like Seth's solo stuff, but
Yes.
oh my god, it, I don't think we need to say much more. But
No.
I don't want to disparage them, but
No. I
because
mean,
I do respect their like
I think they're great, but I mean, it has been like some things where I'm just like, oh man,
yeah,
like what? But they're allowed to
yeah,
do whatever they want. They've made, they've done it all, so they can.
yeah, and I mean they've made like I would say there's probably like 7 or 8 like amazing records with like very few if any skips. And yeah, just like another, I mean, I'm definitely like these are two like Red Rocks shows that are like big productions, but I don't know, it just like it's like the type of show that like the first one we ever went to was my dad was living in North Carolina, which is where they're from, and they were playing on Halloween, and they dressed up as the Wizard of Oz, and it was just like so I don't know, it was like fun. The music was amazing, their performances were amazing. They play for like 2 hours and 45 minutes, and yeah, it's just I don't know, it just makes you feel it's not like there's something to be said for like discovering like someone's new band in like a basement, at like a DIY space. That is also really fun. Um, but yeah, I just like love those like when bands are like have all the resources they need, and they can create this like full experience. It's basically like, it's like a theatrical experience, or it's like a movie-esque experience that um you can kind of plan. They like plan the set lists in a way that, like, I don't know. It feels like really full spectrum of emotion type experiences, and it's like every time I've seen them, it's been like that. So, um,
How about an artist that's still performing that you've yet to see yet that you're like you really want to see but just haven't had the chance to see him?
oh, that's funny you asked that, because as a kid, as a weird like middle schooler who was like obsessed with classic rock, I like had to slowly get my like heart broken by the fact that like all these guys are like not really able to do it anymore. So there's like a lot of bands like that. I mean, like, there are bands that, like, I don't know, bands that are still playing. There's a lot of bands that are still playing I would love to see. I would love to see, I really want to see No Name perform. There's like almost no, she was here in like 2018 in Denver, and I didn't go, and it's one of the biggest regrets of my life because she's not gone on tour like that since. Uh, so I'd say No Name. I mean, they're not a band anymore, but Title Fight, I just want one show. Is all I ask.
Well, that may be in your future,
I'll
friend.
make it there. Yeah.
Yeah, that may be in your future.
Yeah. I, I don't know if I'll make it. People breaking down the doors to get in, but those are two big ones that come to mind. Yeah. All the other ones kind of seem. I mean, the easy ones, Oasis. I didn't even try to buy tickets, but obviously would like love. I've heard that it's like the best they've sounded. And
I was there, and it was, as I told people, I go, it was a religious experience.
yeah,
Like it was absolutely, it was insane. Like I could not believe how, like you said, you heard they sounded the best I think they could have ever possibly sounded. They didn't miss anything.
yeah,
Like, it was absolute perfection. And I just like looking at people next to me, I'm like, take notes. Because this is how every band that comes back should do it. Like what Radiohead's coming back. And like, I'm like, Radiohead needs to, hopefully they saw Oasis and that's why they're getting back, but they need to know they have to do the same thing that they just did because it was fucking flawless.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it makes me sad that I didn't even try to get tickets, but I also saw so many of my friends just like get stuck in the queue and just be so frustrated by it that I was like, I didn't even try, so I didn't get my hopes up. But now hearing that that's how it went, I'm like, damn, I should have done my. Oh, Smashing Pumpkins is another one that I'm like, that would be really fun, I think.
Yeah, that one I can tell you, don't waste your money.
Okay.
I've Smashing Pumpkins is like I'm at the point with them. I'll never see them again. Like I'm done. Like I've seen them when they're great, I've seen them when they're mediocre, I've seen them when they're terrible, and the last couple times I've seen them is just. I'm hoping that Billy Corgan, like actually listening to his podcast at times, like is kind of realizing that he can be a gigantic dick because he's apologized to people for it, but he's done it to fans where he'll just go to play the most famous song and then completely changes up the entire arrangement and how he's playing it because that's how I want to play it. And to me, you're doing a disservice to everyone that just paid to fucking hear your fucking hits. Like,
yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff where I'm like, this is not. I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll skip that one.
Yeah. All right. How about let's go back to Roseville, and I love this question. So please, honest answer.
Okay.
If no one has ever heard your music before, you meet a complete stranger. You got 3 minutes to play him one song of yours and only one song. What song would you play for that stranger?
And one song only. That's tough because it's changed so much. The question is, do I show them the roots? Do I show them where it's at now? Um, yeah, I'd probably say this is hard. I'd probably say knife.
Could probably find a reason to turn away and leave the mess to you. It hurts for me to see them. You wonder why I act the way I act. You're waiting for the other boys to break. You're waiting, you wait. And now I'm taking my knife to find what's chewing on the end of the line. I'm stuck inside, might as well try. I'm not gonna pretend. Could probably turn the season to work out like you want. But I'm walking backwards, never too early. Turn you inside till gutters are flowing. So cut me open. And now I'm taking my time to find what's dripping from the internet. All I find is you twisted in pride. There's nothing left inside that part of me has I'm taking my time, taking my time. Now I'm taking my time, taking my time.
On the new record on Towning, because that is kind of what the band is now. It sounds like nothing, I mean, not nothing, but it sounds very little like the first two, like the first record and the EP. And I feel like those songs are amazing and I love them. And they're also produced by a different person, recorded at a different studio. They have those ones have Kevin and Morgan on them, and these like last two records are just me mostly. And so yeah, I would choose that mostly. I'm really proud of that song, and I'm also like that's kind of like the direction I see this like project going in, like sonically. So it's always weird when like I don't know, like our people listen to like Safer, which is like one of the best songs that we've ever written, I think, and then like listen to the new stuff, and it just doesn't sound the same, and people are like, oh, yeah, I mean this is cool too, I guess. But it's just like what happens, I think, when bands change sonically. It's, you hear one song in a certain mode, and um, since the way you asked the question was like to give them idea what the band is, that's what I would say.
Okay.
I would have a different answer for like showing the roots of the band, I would say.
Well, what would you say is your favorite song you've released to date? Would you say Knife is, or do you have a favorite song that you're just
Oh,
the one you're most proud of and like means the most to you?
that's tough. I'm gonna do a cop out and give you two answers
Okay, that's fine.
because I think that Safer is like the proudest I am of a song because it's super collab. It was like the first time it like the first record was like I would write a song and bring it to everyone and be like, this is how I want you to play it. And then like Kevin would write a song and bring it to everyone and be like, this is how I want you to play it. And Safer was like I wrote that guitar part and then I was like, I don't know what to do with this, and I sent it to Morgan, and she wrote that entire song over it, basically. And it was like very few times I've like felt that like magic of like there, there's something to be said for like being a songwriter, writing your own songs, and maybe there's like a producer that helps with some arrangement, but like doing that like collaborative writing is so I don't know, it's like almost like alchemical. Like there's no way that this thing would exist without the two of you. Like, it's like greater than the sum of its parts type of thing. And so that one just like to this day, I mean, like I'll play that with Roseville. Morgan will play it with her like solo project, Mophie, and it's just like, yeah, I'm really proud of that song. I guess that's definitely my answer. The other song I was gonna say is Strawberry Moon because that's one of my like favorite songs that I've written in this iteration. I think it's like really fun and strange, and I just I feel like I took some like creative risks on this record, and I am happy with that. I guess
You're allowed to be. You're allowed to be.
Well,
All right. How about big day in your life is the day you get your freedom, and that's the day you get your driver's license. Do you remember what was playing in the car on your first solo ride?
I do actually. It's a really strange one, but it's this Icelandic band called Retro Stefson. I don't know the name of the album. I think it was something in Icelandic, but my friend whose name was also Jake, he was like my music plug. He like turned me on to all this like weird newer music, showed me Fleet Foxes for the first time when that first album came out.
Yeah, everybody has to have a music shaman in their life.
Yes, that's exactly what he was.
Yeah.
And he literally just gave it to me, along with like a Reggie Watts like sound effects album where Reggie Watts just like makes noises, and he was like, you should just put these in your car, just listen to them. And yeah, I like listened to that on a CD. It was a CD, listened to it on repeat for so long, and well, yeah, it was just not something I usually would listen to, but now I like listen to them. I don't know what you call it. It feels weird to like say like world music, but like influences from different countries. Yeah,
AKA world music.
aka world music. Yeah.
All right. How do you the name of the very first band you were a part of? Like the name of like when you first got to sit down with other people and come up with the name of a band. What was that name?
Oh god. Roseville.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I had like a real
Was there any other
Moment before
contender
then.
besides Roseville?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if we really had any other ideas. I mean, band names are hard to come up with. And yeah, it was Morgan's idea. And I don't think Kevin and I had any ideas. We had actually, no? Yeah, I'm sorry, this is a bad answer, but like, that's the first one.
All right. Hey, you got lucky then.
I guess. I mean, it's has bad SEO, and there was another band called Roseville at the time. And we just kind of agreed to just both be Roseville, and may the best Roseville win. If they're listening, what's up, other Roseville?
Yeah, in today's day and age, it is so hard to try to come up with something that is not already taken, right?
Yeah,
like it's absolutely absurd when you think about things. Like we're Hidden Tracks. Like everything we do, our record label, our record store, music venue, or podcast, everything is Hidden Tracks. And then like you're looking it up, and all of a sudden like things just start popping up now, and it's like, I mean, I don't even want to waste my time going after people, but at the same time there was Hidden Track before, but I'm like it is what it is. I mean, I'm going, Hidden Tracks are the hidden songs and the hidden gems, such as Roseville that need more people to hear them and find them. So that's why we went with that. Now, is there a band in your life, or an artist that is kind of the artist or band that never lets you down? It's something you just always find yourself listening to when you don't know what you want to listen to. I always say Rolling Stone calls it your favorite band. I call it band or artist that never lets you down and you always love listening to.
I mean, anything that's like, yeah, I'd probably say like Red House Painters or like the Cranberries. I'm always like anything that's like
this
90s.
Is 2 episodes in a row where the Red House Painters just came up.
Really?
That's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Slash, Sunkill Moon, like it's just like evergreen. It just feels like warm, and it can bring you, if it can be down with you if you're down, it can calm you down if you're like, if I'm super aggro about something, I guess.
The last guy had said, he's like, yeah, Red House Paint, it's my autumn music.
Oh, it totally is.
He's like, all the time. Like every year I look forward to autumn because it's my favorite season, but I also look forward to because I know I'm only going to be listening to Red House Painters for a good 3-month stretch.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, same. And then like my winter is like is Mazzy Star.
Oh, Mike. Okay, I'm going to send you this guy's number.
Okay.
Because
is that what he said too?
I swear to God, it's when the episode releases. I'm gonna send it to you.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah,
absolutely crazy.
I mean, it just makes sense. It's like I get it. It's
his daughter's name's Mazzy.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best like comfort music. It's peaceful. I mean, I think a lot of people see music. I mean, a lot of like normal people, quote unquote, see that type of music as like moody. But I guess for like moody people, it's normal. So it's like, I don't know. I find it really soothing and just like another one. Maybe let's see if we'll get 3 in a row. The last one I'll say is Grouper.
No, that wasn't his.
Okay, cool. I mean, that's just like music I can listen to anytime for any reason. It's beautiful. You can like analyze it if you want. You can also like let it fade into the background. It's just sonically so pleasing. Yeah.
Nice. Speaking of moody, do you remember the last song you cried to?
Oh, I don't know if I ever properly cried to a song. I get like goosebumps a lot, and I like get misty eyed a lot.
Okay.
The last time
that doesn't happen to everybody, right?
Yeah.
That's an actual thing. Like some people can't get goosebumps from music where
that is really crazy.
Yeah, like you're just soulless. Yeah, no, it's an actual condition that there's people that just can't feel it. Like they just don't get goosebumps. It doesn't hit something in them, and like my father-in-law is one of them. I'm like, you're just a soulless pig, man.
Wow.
Fucking
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's one of the best feelings in the world. So I just read this book on Sinead O'Connor, and in it, the introduction, she references this video of Fiona Apple singing a Waterboys song, "The Whole of the Moon," and I like watched it, and it's like a really like, I don't know, it's just like a live, like she's just like singing in the studio, and it like really got me. It's like, because that song is like, if you listen to like the Waterboys "Whole of the Moon," it's like, it's really like upbeat and like it feels good, feels earnest. But then like this like Fiona Apple cover, she's like belting it out, and it like really got me. Yeah, I highly, if you look up like Fiona Apple "Whole of the Moon" live, it's like weirdly the thumbnail is just a picture of her face. It looks like it's like a lyric video, but if you click on it, it's I don't know. It's just like also just seeing her like physicality of singing it, and like yeah, it got me in that misty eyed state. A good place to be.
How about something you listen to that everyone that's listening right now would be really surprised that you listen to a lot and get a lot of enjoyment out of? Some people call it a guilty pleasure, but we do know that it's only pleasures now. But like your guilty pleasure that you'd be, and I always tell people, and I hate when people try to cop out and just say, yeah, they are pleasures. I understand that, but there's usually a millisecond when someone catches you listening to something that you don't think you're supposed to be really enjoying, and you're just like, oh, and then you go into, yeah, no, I really like this, but you're still a little bit self-conscious that someone caught you listening to it.
Yeah, I mean, the easy one is like Taylor Swift. I I don't feel guilty when I'm listening to it, because like when I listen to like Red, like I genuinely like that album, and if someone caught me listening to it, I would feel embarrassed. But yeah, I mean, that's unfortunately, like, I feel like that's probably one that a lot of people would say. I don't, yeah, it's hard to say like, oh, I have a guilty pleasure, because I just don't care. But definitely anything that's like by someone that like is taboo to listen to right now. Which I am perfect, and I don't listen to any artist that's canceled. So it never happens. But no, yeah, I haven't listened in a while, but like last summer, I listened to Red a lot, and I actually do think it's like a really great album.
All right. Meteors hurling into the earth. You have 5 minutes left to live, and you can only listen to one song. What one song are you listening to?
Probably "Carry Me Ohio," Some Kill Moon.
Okay, another morbid question. Unfortunately, there's been a disaster at your home. Your home has caught fire. All living things and creatures, goldfish, ferrets, everything's out safely.
Okay,
and
cool.
No harm. You have a minute to run back inside and grab one musical thing that means a lot to you. What's that music related item that you're grabbing?
Probably my dad's. Okay, in like the 90s when they used to make those like neon CD cases?
Yep.
My dad has that for like all of the Alice in Chains records, and I probably grab the one that I have. I mean, can I grab a handful? Is that allowed?
Yeah,
They
I
all fit
mean,
in one hand.
whatever you can carry out, like without potentially dying because you're taking too much time and carrying too much stuff.
I mean, they're all stacked on top of each other, so yeah, like those three records I would grab.
All right, nice.
Because yeah, I mean, there's the nostalgia, there's the cool factor of like, this is a sick jewel case, but it's also like, and it's also my dad, like, I don't know, my dad's still alive. I'm not trying to be I don't know why I'm talking like he's not around, but like I'm assuming eventually he will not be alive, and I want to have those to like remember, because that was like, yeah, that band was huge. Like my dad listened listening to those CDs, that was a huge, like, I mean, how can you not be intrigued by listening to
Nutshell,
Hank Staley?
greatest unplugged song of all time. It's
Yeah.
Nutshell. So, all right. Well, we're going to be coming up on our golden hour here. And before we go to our final segment, I'd love you right now, Jake, to tell everybody how they can keep up with what you're doing, basically throughout all your handles, and so people can support you, find what you're doing, and purchase things from you as well. So now is your perfect opportunity to tell the audience how to find everything that you're going to be doing.
Yeah. I'm on Instagram. It's at Roseville Lives, Lives. And yeah, that's like the main spot. Our Bandcamp page is where we'll post all of our merch and stuff. I have the new record Townie available on vinyl through Bandcamp. And yeah, it's the first time we've pressed anything to vinyl, and so that's really exciting. It sounds great, and yeah, hopefully, teasing a tour in the spring. Hopefully coming your way in the Northeast.
Nice.
I have a lot of friends up there that I think we're gonna make something happen.
Awesome.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Great. Well, so we're coming into our final segment. It is our weekly 3 segment. It's 3 things you're listening to right now that you would like people to check out. You give your 3 for the week, and then I give my 3.
Okay, cool. This is great. I'm gonna shout out hometown hero M Sage. He's a guy who lives. He technically lives like in a town next to ours, but yeah, it's just his name's Matt. It's M like period Sage, Sage. He just released a new record a couple weeks ago called Tender Waiting, and it's like he does all this like ambient, like he records like outdoors, like sounds of nature and stuff, and then he plays like every instrument. He plays clarinet and drums and organ, and it's really beautifully arranged, and it's been really fun to get lost in. Also say I've been listening nonstop to Avery Tucker of Girlpool's Paw record. I'm like, I can't stop listening to that. It's so good. And then the last thing, I mean, I've been listening to Sinead O'Connor, the first record. I never listened to it before this week. And yeah, so if people have never listened to that, or I would say it's worth a re-listen. It's like really wonderful. Yeah, those are my 3.
Nice. Good 3. All right. My 3. My first one is a band called Mini Trees. The name of the album is Slow It Down. Say it's like LA-based indie pop kind of sounding.
Cool.
Number 2 is a band called Dark Soft. And it's pretty much everything they put out is great. Like I can't just pinpoint one thing, but it's kind of, let's say, a dreamy new wave shoegaze kind of sound. And last but not least is a band out of Pittsburgh called Colatara, Colatura. They're lo-fi indie rock with great female vocalists.
Sweet.
So those are my 3 for this week. Well, Jake, I want to say thank you so much for spending time with me today, and thank you so much for, it's a big thank you too for creating the music that brought us together. I mean, I think people need to do it more often, put out music, and then have a stranger like me from across the country reach out and want to talk to you. I think we can, I think this world would be a better place if we all got together around music and can talk about our lives and everything through music and forget about everything else for a little bit. So thank you for creating that music that brought me to you.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. And thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Well, everybody in the world, you know what time it is now. It's time to go out, listen to Roseville, and have a great fucking time.
Open the curtain. the spotlight shining down on an empty stage. Your ghost walks through cemetery, cardboard headstones, and paper trees. I'm calling for my line. I'm calling. Bet you think you're a big man. Bet you think that you stuck God in his tracks. Think you're a big man. The protagonist who won't die in the end. You play your part and you play it well. The tears you cry always look real. You fucker, I'm not lying. You fucker, bet you think you're a big man. Bet you think that you stuck God in his plan. Think you're a big man. I think you know what I'm saying. Sometimes I pretend that I just don't make it. Your fingers on the cliffside can't hang on. I don't feel like a big man. I don't feel like I got it in my hand. I guess you would know that.
Thanks again for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at HiddenTracks99. Also, send all your submissions myhiddentracks99@gmail.com. Tune in next week. You may find your new favorite band, and don't forget to go out and have a great fucking time.